The vast emptiness of space shimmered as an enormous vessel emerged from hyperspace, its sleek form casting a shadow over Earth's moon. Inside the United Nations Space Command Center, alarms blared and screens flickered to life with urgent messages. Admiral Sarah Chen, a veteran of countless simulations, but never a real alien encounter, felt her heart race as she assessed the situation. "Report," she barked, her eyes fixed on the main display. Lieutenant James Rodriguez, his dark eyes wide with a mix of fear and excitement, responded, "Ma'am, we're detecting an unknown vessel of massive proportions. It's unlike anything we've ever seen before." Chen nodded, her mind racing through protocols and scenarios they had only ever imagined. "Open all channels. Let's see if they're here to talk." As the communications team worked feverishly to establish contact, the alien ship remained motionless, its intent unclear. Hours passed, tension mounting with each silent moment. Suddenly, a crackling sound filled the command center, followed by a voice that seemed to reverberate through their very bones. "People of Earth, we are the Zarkai. We come seeking aid and offering an exchange of knowledge." The room fell silent, all eyes turning to Admiral Chen. She took a deep breath, steadying herself before responding. "Zarkai visitors, this is Admiral Sarah Chen of Earth. We welcome you and are open to peaceful dialogue. May we ask the nature of the aid you seek?" There was a pause, long enough for Chen to wonder if they had somehow misunderstood or offended their alien visitors. Then the voice returned, tinged with what could only be described as desperation. "Our species faces extinction. A cosmic anomaly threatens our homeworld, and we lack the resources to save ourselves. We have traveled far, hoping to find a species capable of helping us. In return, we offer technological advancements beyond your current capabilities." Chen's mind raced. This was far beyond anything they had prepared for. Earth's own technology was advanced, but not to the point of interstellar travel or manipulating cosmic anomalies. Yet, the opportunity to gain alien knowledge was tempting. "We are willing to discuss how we might assist you," Chen replied cautiously. "However, we'll need more information and time to consult with our global leaders." The response was immediate and urgent. "Time is a luxury we do not possess, Admiral. We request a meeting with your leaders immediately. Our situation is dire." Chen exchanged glances with her team. This was moving faster than anyone had anticipated. She made a quick decision. "Very well. We'll arrange a meeting as soon as possible. In the meantime, please maintain your current position." As the communication ended, the command center erupted into a flurry of activity. Chen turned to her second-in-command, Commander Yuki Tanaka. "Get me the UN Security Council. We need to prepare for the most important meeting in human history." Within hours, world leaders gathered in an emergency session, their faces grim as they digested the information. The debate was heated, with some arguing for caution and others pushing for immediate action. Dr. Aisha Patel, Earth's leading xenobiologist, addressed the assembly. "We must approach this with open minds. The potential for advancing our understanding of the universe is unprecedented. And the potential for destruction if we're not careful," countered General Victor Alvarez. "We know nothing about these aliens or their true intentions." As the debate raged on, a young scientist named Dr. Zhou Chang stepped forward. Her voice trembled slightly, but her words carried weight. "What if we approach this not just as a potential threat, but as a challenge? A test of human ingenuity and cooperation?" The room fell silent as Zhou continued, her confidence growing. "Throughout history, we've faced seemingly insurmountable problems. Climate change, pandemics, energy crises. Each time, we've come together and found solutions. This is no different. It's just on a larger scale." Her words seemed to shift the atmosphere in the room. Leaders who had been at odds moments before now looked at each other with newfound determination. President Elena Rodriguez of the United States stood up. "Dr. Chang is right. This is our moment to show what humanity is truly capable of. We will meet with the Zarkai, but not just as potential helpers. We'll meet them as equals, ready to face this challenge together. The decision was made. Earth would welcome the Zarkei representatives and hear their plea. As preparations were made for the historic meeting, humanity held its collective breath. The day of the meeting arrived, and the world watched as a sleek shuttle descended from the massive Zarkei ship. It landed gracefully in a specially prepared area outside the United Nations headquarters in New York. As the shuttle's door opened, the assembled crowd gasped. The Zarkei were unlike anything they had imagined. Tall, ethereal beings stepped out, their skin shimmering with an iridescent quality that seemed to change color with each movement. Their eyes, large and multifaceted, took in the scene before them with what appeared to be a mix of hope and trepidation. The lead Zarkei, introducing itself as Ambassador Xelpho, addressed the assembly. Its voice, though translated through advanced technology, carried a depth of emotion that transcended species barriers. People of Earth, we come to you in our darkest hour. Our homeworld faces a threat beyond our ability to counter. A quantum singularity has formed near our star system, its gravitational pull threatening to tear our planet apart. We have exhausted our resources and knowledge trying to find a solution. As Xelpho spoke, holographic images appeared, showing the devastating effects of the singularity on their home planet. The assembly watched in stunned silence as entire continents were shown breaking apart, oceans boiling away into space. We have traveled across the galaxy, searching for a species with the potential to help us. Our observations of Earth have shown us a planet of diversity, of creatures who have overcome great odds to thrive in various environments. You've faced extinction-level events in your past and survived. It is this resilience, this adaptability, that we believe may hold the key to our salvation. The room was silent as the implications of Xelpho's words sank in. Humanity, a species that had only recently taken its first tentative steps into space, was being asked to save an advanced alien civilization. President Rodriguez stepped forward, her face a mask of determination. Ambassador Xelpho, we hear your plea. While we cannot promise an immediate solution, we pledge to dedicate our best minds and resources to this problem. Humanity has always risen to challenges, and we will not shy away from this one. As the meeting continued, plans were made to form a joint task force. Earth's top scientists would work alongside Zarkei experts, sharing knowledge and brainstorming potential solutions. Dr. Zhou Chang, whose words had helped sway the initial decision, found herself at the center of this unprecedented collaboration. As she prepared to board the Zarkei ship for the first time, she couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and trepidation. "Ready for this?" Admiral Chen asked, standing beside her at the shuttle bay. Zhou nodded, a determined smile on her face. "Ready as I'll ever be. This is why I became a scientist, to push the boundaries of what we know, to solve the unsolvable." As the shuttle took off, carrying the first human delegation to the Zarkei ship, Zhou looked back at the Earth growing smaller behind them. She knew that whatever happened next would change the course of human history forever. The true test of humanity's ingenuity and determination was about to begin. The Zarkei mothership, Celestial Harmony, was a marvel of engineering that left the human delegation in awe. As Dr. Zhou Chang floated through its gravity-controlled corridors, she marveled at the organic curves and pulsing bioluminescent surfaces that seemed to breathe with life. Ambassador Xelpho led the group to the ship's central chamber, a vast spherical room filled with holographic displays and strange, undulating consoles. "This is our primary research hub," Xelpho explained, its multifaceted eyes reflecting the swirling data around them. "Here, we have compiled all our knowledge about the quantum singularity threatening our homeworld." Dr. Chang approached one of the displays, her eyes widening as she took in the complexity of the data. "This is incredible," she breathed. "The level of detail in your quantum measurements is beyond anything we've achieved on Earth." Xelpho's skin rippled with what the humans had come to recognize as a sign of distress. And yet, with all this knowledge, we remain unable to find a solution. Our scientists have worked tirelessly, but the singularity continues to grow, pulling our planet closer to destruction with each passing moment. Admiral Chen, who had accompanied the delegation, stepped forward. Ambassador, perhaps what's needed here isn't just more knowledge, but a fresh perspective. Humans have a saying, sometimes you can't see the forest for the trees. These Archai tilted their heads in confusion at the idiom, but Zoe quickly explained. What the Admiral means is that sometimes when you're too close to a problem, it's hard to see new solutions. We might not have your level of technological advancement, but human history is full of instances where we've had to think creatively to overcome seemingly impossible odds. As if to emphasize her point, alarms suddenly blared throughout the ship. Salvor's assistants rushed to the consoles, their movements frantic. The Singularity's growth has accelerated, one of them announced, fear evident in their voice. At this rate, our homeworld has less than a standard solar cycle before it begins to break apart. The news sent a shockwave through the chamber. The human delegation exchanged worried glances, the weight of their responsibility settling heavily upon them. Dr. Chang, however, felt a spark of inspiration. Wait a minute, she said, her mind racing. You said your planet is being pulled towards the singularity, right? What if instead of trying to stop or destroy the singularity, we use its own power against it? The Zarkai scientists looked at her in confusion, but Zoe was already moving to one of the holographic displays. With quick gestures, she began manipulating the data, creating a new simulation. Look, she explained, her voice gaining excitement. If we can't stop the singularity from pulling on your planet, what if we create a counterforce? A series of massive engines on the far side of your world, pushing against the singularity's pull. We don't need to overcome its force entirely, just enough to stabilize your planet's orbit. The Zarkai scientists crowded around the display, their earlier despair giving way to cautious hope. One of them, introduced as lead scientist Vexara, spoke up. The concept is intriguing, Dr. Chang, but the energy requirements for such engines would be astronomical. Our planet simply doesn't have the resources. But Zoe wasn't deterred. What about harnessing the singularity itself? Black holes, or in this case, quantum singularities, emit enormous amounts of energy in the form of Hawking radiation. If we could capture and utilize that energy. The chamber erupted into a flurry of activity as human and Zarkai scientists alike began to expand on Zoe's idea. Admiral Chen watched with a mixture of pride and amazement as the two species, so different yet united by the challenge before them, worked in perfect synergy. Over the next few days, the joint team refined the concept. The plan that emerged was audacious. They would construct a series of massive energy collectors in orbit around the singularity, capturing its radiated energy. This power would then be beamed to enormous thrusters on the far side of the Zarkai homeworld, providing the necessary force to stabilize its orbit. As the team presented their plan to the Zarkai leadership and Earth's representatives, Zelfor's skin shimmered with an emotion that the humans had never seen before, hope. This plan, Zelfor said, its voice filled with awe, it combines the best of both our species. Our advanced understanding of quantum mechanics and energy transfer with the bold, innovative thinking of humanity. It is more than we could have ever hoped for. President Rodriguez, attending via holographic projection, nodded in agreement. This is indeed a monumental undertaking, one that will require the full cooperation and resources of both our worlds. But I believe it represents the beginning of a partnership that could reshape the galaxy. As the two leaders formalized the agreement, Dr. Chang found herself approached by Vexara, the Zarkai lead scientist. Dr. Chang, Vexara began, its voice carrying a tone of deep respect, your species continues to astonish us. We came to Earth expecting to find primitive beings, perhaps with a spark of potential. Instead, we found equals, partners capable of seeing solutions where we saw only obstacles. Zoe smiled, feeling a warmth of pride, not just for herself, but for all of humanity. That's the thing about humans, Vexara. We've spent our entire history overcoming obstacles. It's not our technology that defines us, but our spirit, our unwillingness to give up, no matter the odds. As the celestial harmony prepared to depart for the Zarkai homeworld, carrying with it a team of Earth's brightest minds and bravest volunteers, there was a palpable sense of excitement and nervousness throughout both species. Admiral Chen, overseeing the loading of Earth's equipment onto the alien ship, turned to Dr. Chang. "You know, Zoe, when I woke up that morning, I never imagined I'd be sending some of our best and brightest off to save an alien world." Zoe nodded, her eyes fixed on the stars visible through the ship's transparent hull. "It's funny, isn't it? We've always wondered if we were alone in the universe, always imagined what first contact would be like. But I don't think anyone ever considered that our first alien visitors would need our help." Chen chuckled. "Life has a way of surprising you. But if there's one thing I've learned in my years of service, it's that humanity is at its best when faced with a challenge. This might be our greatest one yet, but I have faith we'll rise to meet it." As the final preparations were made, Zoe found herself standing before a window, Earth's blue marble growing smaller as the celestial harmony prepared to jump to hyperspace. She felt a mix of emotions: excitement for the adventure ahead, fear of the unknown, and an overwhelming sense of responsibility. But as she looked at her reflection in the window, seeing the determination in her own eyes mirrored by the Zarkai working alongside the humans, she knew that together they stood a chance. Humanity had taken its first steps into a larger universe, and they were determined to make their mark, not through conquest or superiority, but through cooperation, innovation, and an unwavering spirit of hope. The ship's engines hummed to life, and in a flash of light, the celestial harmony disappeared into the depths of space, carrying with it the hopes of two worlds and the dawn of a new era for both species. As the celestial harmony streaked through the cosmos, Captain Elena Reyes felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. The successful joint mission with the Zarkai had opened up unprecedented possibilities, but it had also thrust humanity into a complex galactic political landscape they were only beginning to understand. Elena's thoughts were interrupted by a gentle chime. "Captain," the ship's AI announced, "we're receiving a transmission from Zarkai High Command." She straightened her uniform and nodded to her communications officer. "Put it through." The holographic display flickered to life, revealing the impressive figure of Narthok, the Zarkai Supreme Commander. His iridescent scales shimmered even through the projection. "Captain Reyes," Narthok's voice resonated with a mix of urgency and respect. "I trust your journey home has been uneventful." Elena nodded, noting the tension in the alien's posture. "So far, yes, but I sense this isn't a social call, Commander." Narthok's mandibles clicked in what Elena had come to recognize as a sign of approval. "Perceptive as always, Captain. We've received alarming intelligence. The Voth Imperium has learned of our alliance. They view it as a threat to their dominance in this sector." Elena's mind raced. The Voth were an ancient and technologically advanced species, known for their isolationist and often aggressive stance towards emerging civilizations. "What are we looking at, Commander?" she asked, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. "Their fleet is mobilizing. We believe they intend to launch a preemptive strike against both Earth and Zarkai Prime." Narvok's compound eyes seemed to darken. "Captain, we need to act fast. The Celestial Harmony is the only ship with both human and Zarkai crew members. You represent the best of both our peoples." Elena understood the unspoken request. "You want us to make a diplomatic approach." "Precisely. The Voth respect strength, but they also value ancient knowledge. Your ship's database contains the combined scientific and cultural achievements of both our species. It might be enough to give them pause." Elena glanced around the bridge, seeing determination and a hint of fear in the eyes of both her human and Zarkai crew members. They had already achieved so much together. Could they now prevent an interstellar war? "We'll do it," Elena declared, her voice filled with resolve. "Plot a course to intercept the Voth fleet. Let's show them that our alliance isn't a threat, but an opportunity for all species to grow and learn from each other. As the celestial harmony altered its course, Elena couldn't help but marvel at the strange twists of fate. What had begun as a tentative partnership between two species was now the galaxy's best hope for peace. The true test of their alliance was about to begin, and the fate of multiple worlds hung in the balance. The ship surged forward, carrying with it the combined hopes, dreams, and knowledge of two civilizations. As they raced towards their rendezvous with destiny, Elena silently vowed that they would find a way to turn this potential conflict into a chance for understanding. The universe was vast, but today it felt like the distance between hearts, whether human, Zarkai, or Voth, might not be so great after all. As the celestial harmony hurtled through space towards its fateful encounter with the Voth fleet, Captain Elena Reyes retreated to her quarters. She needed a moment to gather her thoughts and prepare for what could be the most crucial diplomatic mission in human history. Sitting at her desk, Elena activated her personal terminal and began reviewing all available information on the Voth. The holographic display flickered to life, projecting a series of images and data streams into the air before her. Elena studied the diagram intently, her mind racing with potential strategies. The Voth's isolationist tendencies and advanced technology made them formidable opponents, but their scientific focus could be a point of connection. Perhaps they could appeal to the Voth's intellectual curiosity. A soft chime interrupted her thoughts. "Enter," she called out. The door slid open to reveal Zarth Hall, her Zarkai first officer. The tall, insectoid alien ducked slightly to enter the human-sized quarters. "Captain," Zarthal's antennae twitched with concern. "We've detected the Voth fleet on long-range sensors. We'll be within communication range in approximately 2 hours." Elena nodded, gesturing for Zarthal to take a seat. "Thank you. We need to formulate our approach carefully. The Voth are not known for their patience with younger species." Zarthal's compound eyes seemed to shimmer with an idea. "Perhaps, Captain, we could use that to our advantage. The Voth pride themselves on their ancient lineage. What if we present our alliance not as a threat, but as students eager to learn from an elder race?" Elena's eyes lit up. "Brilliant, Zarthal. We could offer cultural and scientific exchange. Show them that our cooperation has already yielded advancements that could benefit all species." For the next hour, human and Zarkai worked side by side, crafting a presentation that highlighted the unique strengths of their alliance while appealing to the Voth's sense of superiority. They compiled data on their joint scientific discoveries, examples of cultural exchange, and proposals for peaceful cooperation. As they finished, Elena placed a hand on Zarthal's exoskeleton, a gesture of camaraderie that would have been unthinkable just a few years ago. "Whatever happens out there, I'm proud of what we've accomplished together." Zarthal's mandibles clicked in agreement. "As am I, Captain. We face this challenge not as human or Zarkai, but as united representatives of a new era of interstellar cooperation." The ship-wide communication system crackled to life. "Bridge to Captain Reyes. We've entered communication range with the Voth fleet." Elena took a deep breath, squaring her shoulders. "Acknowledged. We're on our way." As they made their way to the bridge, Elena felt a mix of tension and hope. The next few hours would determine not just the fate of their mission, but potentially the course of galactic history. With the combined strength and wisdom of two species behind them, they stepped forward to face the unknown, ready to forge a new path among the stars. As Captain Elena Reyes and First Officer Zarthal stepped onto the bridge of the Celestial Harmony, a hush fell over the crew. The main view screen dominated the front of the bridge, currently displaying a vast array of imposing ships, the Voth fleet. Their sleek, predatory designs spoke of advanced technology and military might. Elena took her place at the center of the bridge, her posture radiating calm authority. "Open a channel to the Voth flagship," she commanded. The communications officer, a young human named Aisha Patel, nodded. "Channel open, Captain. They're receiving our transmission." Taking a deep breath, Elena began. This is Captain Elena Reyes of the Earth-Zarkai joint vessel Celestial Harmony. We come in peace and seek an audience with your leaders. For a tense moment, there was no response. Then, the view screen flickered, revealing the interior of the VOF command ship. A tall, reptilian figure stood at its center, adorned in ornate armor that seemed both ceremonial and functional. Sharp, intelligent eyes regarded Elena and her crew with a mixture of curiosity and disdain. "I am Supreme Admiral Volkov of the VOF Imperium," the figure spoke, its voice deep and resonant. "Your presence here is unexpected. Explain yourselves, young ones." Elena stepped forward, her voice steady. "Supreme Admiral, we've journeyed here to open a dialogue. We understand that our alliance has caused concern within the Imperium. We wish to allay those fears and propose a path forward that benefits all our peoples." Volkov's scaled brow ridge raised slightly. Bold words from such fledgling species. What could you possibly offer the VOF Imperium? This was the moment they had prepared for. Elena nodded to Zarth Hall, who activated a holographic display between them. "Supreme Admiral," Elena began, "while our individual species may be young compared to the illustrious VOF, our alliance has already yielded remarkable advancements. We offer not a challenge to your authority, but an opportunity for mutual growth and understanding." The holographic display came to life, showcasing a series of scientific and cultural achievements born from the human-Zarkai partnership. Elena had come to recognize as an expression of earnest sincerity. "Respected Elder," he began, using a formal VOF title, "it is precisely because of your species' great age and wisdom that we seek this dialogue. Our alliance has shown us the power of diversity in thought and approach. Imagine what insights could be gained by adding your vast knowledge to this exchange." Elena nodded in agreement. "We're not asking the VOF to change, Supreme Admiral. We're offering an opportunity for all our species to grow together. Your strength and self-reliance have served you well, but in an ever-changing galaxy, couldn't new allies and fresh perspectives only enhance that strength?" For a long moment, Volkov was silent, his gaze moving from Elena to Zarth Hall and then to the rest of the mixed human-Zarkai crew on the bridge. Finally, he spoke. "Your words are intriguing. Perhaps there is merit in observing this alliance of yours more closely." Elena felt a surge of hope, but she knew they weren't out of danger yet. "We would be honored to host a delegation from the VOF Imperium aboard the Celestial Harmony," she offered. "You could see firsthand how our cooperation functions and the benefits it brings." Volkov considered this for a moment before nodding slowly. "Very well. I will lead a small delegation to your vessel. Be warned, young ones. We will be watching closely. Any sign of deception or threat will be met with the full might of the VOF Imperium." "Understood, Supreme Admiral," Elena replied, relief evident in her voice. "We look forward to your arrival and the opportunity to learn from each other." As the communication ended, the bridge erupted in a mixture of relieved sighs and excited murmurs. Elena turned to her crew, a small smile on her face. "Well done, everyone. But our real work is just beginning. Let's show the VOF the very best of what our alliance can be." As the crew bustled into action, preparing for the historic visit, Elena caught Zarth Hall's compound eyes with her own. In that moment of shared understanding, both knew that this could be the beginning of a new chapter in galactic history, one where cooperation and mutual respect might just triumph over fear and isolation. The Celestial Harmony hung in space, a symbol of unity between worlds, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As Elena gazed out at the stars, she felt a renewed sense of purpose. They had taken the first step towards peace, and now the real journey was about to begin. Cooperator, as the Celestial Harmony prepared to dock with the massive VOF flagship, Captain Elena Reyes stood in the ship's grand reception hall. The room, usually used for diplomatic functions and crew gatherings, had been quickly transformed into a space that showcased the best of both human and Zarkai cultures. Elena surveyed the room, noting the seamless blend of Earth's art and technology with Sci-Fi bioluminescent sculptures and atmospheric regulators. The air hummed with a mixture of anticipation and nervous energy. Elena turned to her crew, seeing her own mix of relief and excitement mirrored in their faces. "Well done, everyone," she said, her voice filled with pride. "Today, we've taken the first step towards a new era of cooperation in our galaxy." As the crew erupted into cheers and congratulations, Elena caught Zarthal's gaze. The Zarke's compound eyes seemed to shimmer with an emotion that transcended species barriers: hope. Outside the viewports of the celestial harmony, the stars continued their eternal dance. But now they seemed to shine a little brighter, illuminating a future where the boundaries between species faded and the true potential of galactic cooperation began to unfold.